Nós, estudantes de Relações Internacionais da PUC São Paulo e integrantes do Grupo de Estudo de Conflitos Internacionais, firmamos uma parceria com Democracy Now!
A partir de agora, vincularemos com legendas em português as mais importantes notícias internacionais da semana.
From Pacifica, this is Democracy Now!
My judicial philosophy is straightforward. A judge must be independent and must interpret the law, not make the law. A judge must interpret statutes as written, and a judge must interpret the Constitution as written, informed by history and tradition and precedent.
Confirmation hearings begin today for Judge Brett Kavanaugh, President Trump's pick to fill Justice Anthony Kennedy's seat on the Supreme Court, even as the White House refuses to release more than 100,000 pages of documents about his time in the Bush White House. If he's confirmed, it would likely make the Supreme Court the most conservative since the 1930s. We'll get response from Kristen Clark of the Lawyers Committee for Civil Rights Under Law, which released a damning report about Kavanaugh's record on cases including abortion rights. She'll attend the Senate confirmation hearings for Kavanaugh this week. Then, in a major victory for Indigenous groups and environmentalists, Canada's Federal Court of Appeals has rejected the government's approval to triple the capacity of the Kinder Morgan Trans Mountain pipeline.
We're winning. The spirit of the people that I feel behind me was too big for Kinder Morgan.
We'll go to Canada to get response to the ruling from Ariel Deranger with Indigenous Climate Action and a member of the Athabascan Chippewa First Nation, and to Mexico City to speak with Winona LaDuke, Native American activist with Honor the Earth. All that and more coming up. Welcome to Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, the War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman. Confirmation hearings begin today for President Trump's pick to fill Justice Anthony Kennedy's seat as the Supreme Court swing vote. If Judge Brett Kavanaugh is confirmed, it would create a block of 5 justices that would likely make the Supreme Court the most conservative since the 1930s. Critics warn his confirmation could lead to major rollbacks of civil rights, environmental regulations, gun control measures, voting rights and reproductive rights, including possibly overturning Roe v. Wade. Just hours before the hearings were set to begin, a lawyer for former President George W. Bush released more than 40,000 pages of documents from Kavanaugh's time in the White House counsel's office from 2001 to 2003. He was also staff secretary from 2003 to 2006 before Bush appointed him to the U.S. Court of Appeals of D.C. Yet the Trump administration's withholding more than 100,000 pages of Kavanaugh's records on the basis of presidential privilege. We'll have more on Judge Kavanaugh's confirmation hearings after headlines. President Trump has attacked Attorney General Jeff Sessions again after the Justice Department filed charges against Republican Congress members Christopher Collins of New York and Republican Congressmember Duncan Hunter of California. Collins is accused of insider trading. Hunter is accused of illegally using campaign funds for personal expenses. The 2 Republicans were the first and second members of Congress to endorse candidate Donald Trump in 2016. Jeff Sessions, as senator, was the third. On Monday, Trump tweeted, quote, 2 long-running Obama-era investigations of 2 very popular Republican congressmen were brought to a well-publicized charge just ahead of the midterms by Jeff Sessions' Justice Department. 2 easy wins now in doubt because there is not enough time. Good job, Jeff, the president tweeted. In response, Republican Senator Ben Sasse of Nebraska said, quote, the United States is not some banana republic with a 2-tiered system of justice, one for the majority party and one for the minority party, rebuking the president of the United States of his same party. In Iowa, the father of murdered college student Molly Tibbetts, is demanding the Trumps, politicians, and white supremacists stop appropriating his daughter's death to promote hate against immigrants. Authorities have charged an undocumented farm worker from Mexico with first-degree murder for Molly's death. In an article in the Des Moines Register, Rob Tibbetts wrote, "Do not appropriate Molly's soul in advancing views she believed were profoundly racist. The act grievously extends the crime that stole Molly from our family. The person who's accused of taking Molly's life is no more a reflection of the Hispanic community as white supremacists are of all white people," Molly's father wrote in his op-ed piece. Tibbetts' column comes only a day after the Des Moines Register published a column by President Trump's eldest son, Donald Trump Jr., in which he blamed Democrats